Hey everyone, divorce is a difficult and emotional process. And one of the biggest concerns for many couples is what happens to their HDB flat. In Singapore, the matrimonial home is often the most valuable asset in a marriage, and its fate after a divorce depends on several legal factors. While some couples can come to a mutual agreement on the division of the flat, others may need to rely on the courts to decide. Today, we will explore how the law governs this issue and what considerations play a role in determining who gets to keep the home. The best case scenario in a divorce is when both spouses can agree on what should happen to the HDB flat. Some couples decide that one spouse will transfer their share of the flat to the other, allowing the other spouse to keep it. Others may agree to sell the flat and then split the proceeds in a certain proportion. If there's an agreement, this decision is recorded in a court judgment and made official during the ancillary proceedings. However, if no agreement is reached, the court will step in and decide on the division of the flat along with other matrimonial assets. A key legal question in this process is whether the HDB flat qualifies as a matrimonial asset. Under the Women's Charter, an asset is considered a matrimonial asset if it was acquired during the marriage by one or both parties. If the flat was acquired before the marriage, it may still be classified as a matrimonial asset if it was used as the family home or if it was substantially improved during the marriage by both spouses. Even in cases where a flat was inherited or received as a gift, it may become a matrimonial asset if it has been used for family life or improved upon. If the HDB flat is determined to be a matrimonial asset, the next step is to decide how it should be divided. The court takes various factors into account, including each spouse's financial contributions towards acquiring, maintaining, or improving the flat. However, financial contributions are not the only consideration. The court also looks at non-financial contributions, such as one spouse staying home to care for the children or maintaining the household. The length of the marriage also plays a role, with longer marriages generally leading to a more equal division of assets. The court can order one spouse to transfer his or her interest in the HDB flat to the other, or the court can also order that the flat be sold and the sales proceeds divided according to the court's assessment of fairness. Even if a spouse is awarded the right to retain the HDB flat, they must still meet HDB's eligibility requirements to keep it. If a spouse has care and control of the children, that means the children live with them, they are generally allowed to retain the flat, provided they can afford to take over the housing loan. If there are no children, the spouse may only retain the flat under the single scheme, which requires them to be at least 35 years old. If these conditions are not met, they may need to sell the flat or include a family member in the ownership under a different eligibility scheme. If the minimum occupation period has not been met, there are additional restrictions on what can be done with the flat. Generally, HDB requires that flats be occupied for at least 5 years before they can be sold in the open market. If the MOP has not been reached, the couple may have to return the flat to HDB at the prevailing compensation price, subject to HDB's approval. However, if the MOP has been met, the parties may proceed with selling the flat in the open market and dividing the proceeds. In one case, a husband contributed 80% of the cost of the HDB flat, while the wife contributed only 20%. They were married for 18 years, and even though the husband initially believed that he should get 80% of the sales profits, the court also considered the wife's non-financial contributions, such as raising the children and managing the household. The court ruled that she deserved due credit for her role in the marriage and ordered the sale proceeds to be split 60-40 instead of 80-20. This case highlights the fact that the law does not view asset division purely in terms of financial contributions, but also considers the broader role each spouse played in the marriage. Divorce is not only about legal dissolution of a marriage, but also about the division of lives and possessions that were once shared. A home is more than just property. It carries emotional weight, memories, and a sense of security. However, All things in life are impermanent. Holding on too tightly to material things can often lead to more suffering. And the path to peace lies in accepting change and adapting to new circumstances. While the law provides structure and fairness in resolving property disputes, true resolution can only come when individuals find clarity and balance within themselves. Perhaps the most important home we can build is not one made of walls and bricks, but one of inner stability and understanding. The division of an HDB flat after divorce is governed by legal principles that aim to be fair and just. While financial contributions matter, the law also recognizes non-financial contributions and the broader context of the marriage. For those going through this process, it is important to understand not only their legal rights, but also the deeper lesson that change is inevitable and peace comes from within. Thanks for joining me in this video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.